Hi, my name is Katie Etchen, and for my media outreach project for the semester, I decided to explore the link between speech perception and autism. This was a really interesting topic for me because I like to work with a lot of autistic kids, and I've noticed a lot of them have troubles with language. I thought this topic was really interesting to study in particular because when I graduate, I will be getting my master's in applied behavior analysis, which is essentially autism therapy, and a lot of the work I've done as a therapist so far has been to develop language, so I thought this was really useful for me to learn more about. When I was starting this project, I decided a blog would be the best way for me to present my information because I knew I would be trying to explore lots of different aspects of language and presenting a lot of information. So I thought a blog was the best way to break up the information into basic categories that would be easier for my readers to understand. My main goal when I was writing up this project and organizing into my categories was trying to keep the information simple. I was trying to take complex research articles, some of which were extremely dense, and trying to present it in a way that a person who'd never taken a sensation and perception class could understand the information. I decided to make my front page basic information about autism because I felt going into this project, if you were looking at my blog and all of a sudden you were just seeing in-depth information about speech and emotions and other stuff like that, you'd be really confused if you didn't know first what autism was. I decided to make my first post about how the audiovisual speech is different for children in autism because I've always noticed how they don't really look at stuff with their eyes, and I was really curious to see how that inattention to visual information would affect their speech. So that was actually probably my favorite topic to explore in this project. My first main problem that I had was really trying to make it readable because I was trying to translate a lot of complex research and technical language into everyday terms, and I was really struggling to keep it simple while also keeping it professional, and I had a really hard time finding that line between fun and easygoing and professional. My sensory processing page was the first major difficulty I came across because I feel like this topic in general could have been its own project, and I felt like I was glossing over a lot of important information just to keep it short and simple when I really could have spent 5 blog posts writing about this. I also felt the same way about my emotions post because emotion in children with autism and how they read social situations is also very different, and I felt by just keeping a very short 2-paragraph post was really glossing over way too much information when it should have been its own thing. As I'm sure you realize by now, I really did feel like I covered way too many topics. I was being really ambitious, and when I was doing my research, I felt like I honestly didn't have enough. But for this project, I think I should have just focused on just one topic to keep it simpler, but also so that I could have gone way more in depth with that one topic that I felt was the best. In particular, I really wish I had spent the entirety of my project on just this audio-visual section. It was the most interesting to me, I had the most research on it, and I really enjoyed writing up this section the most because I could talk about things like the McGurk effect and how I could give very good concrete information about how this whole system for them is very different. But most importantly, I truly didn't realize how hard it was for me to simplify all the information even in that one topic that had the most research and most fun information to present because there was just so much to explain, and I wish I had done more background information on this before going into how there were differences. Overall, I actually thought that my blog layout was a really good success. I spent so much time trying to work with all the different editing aspects for the website to keep it looking clean but also be easy to read, and I felt like I did a really good job at that after spending about 4 hours working on it. Even though I wish I had narrowed things down a lot more to focus on 1 or 2 broader topics, I thought that the information I covered was all very interesting and really fun for at least me to learn and hopefully for everyone else to look at because it was a really interesting topic to learn about. If I had to do this project all over again, as you can guess, I would primarily focus on the audio-visual speech section, but I think, would be interested in maybe doing a podcast because I often found myself explaining to my sister or my family about what I was learning, and I think that would have been a fun way to present the information if I got to change it.